me with that hint of yellow? Does it look like Play-Doh?
Press the E button. Okay. Is it working?
The what button? Oh, I thought.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Are you talking to people watching your stream?
I'm talking to people watching the stream.
You have people who watch your streams?
Be right with you. I said I'll be right with you.
Oh yeah, that's how you fucking do it.
Well, that worked. That worked really well. I'm surprised that worked, how well that worked. Pressing one button. And it worked. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It is your favourite engineer, network engineer. Hey, Sammy. Hey, Bramo. Hey, Michi. and everyone else who I've missed, probably nobody else. How we're all doing? We're having a lovely week. I hope you had a lovely Easter. I'm sorry about last week. I think I had a headache or something like that. I can't remember what happened last week. I wasn't feeling entirely well. I can't remember. What did I do last week? Oh no, that was it. I was exhausted because the whole week I had Ava by myself, which was lovely. Don't get me wrong, she's a lovely, my daughter. Yeah, it was a long week. It was long. Loved it. Really enjoyed it. Had a great time with her. We did a lot of things. We made brownies. Really non-cooked brownies. They were lovely. They were great. We had some daddy-daughter time. We done some gaming. We went out on little trips, little adventures. Nowhere fun. It was just around the area. And yeah, you know, just tonight she's been to Squirrels. Now, if you don't know what Squirrels are, which you probably don't, Squirrels are, you know, it's like before brownies, but before it's Scouts, but before, you know, this is the tiny little Scouts. You got Scouts, you got Beavers. There you go. It goes. What do we call it? I've forgotten. It's completely gone. Squirrels, Beavers, Scouts. So Ava is Scout, essentially. Yeah, I know. It's just weird. She went for her first night tonight, and she absolutely loved it. To the point that, you know, when I was doing the paperwork for her, she wandered off and started playing with the other boys and girls, which is lovely. Yeah, you know. So it's been an interesting week, interesting couple of weeks. We've had some issues around the outside world. Shows how much you know. I thought there were only Scouts and Beavers. No, there's Squirrels as well. Have you ever watched Hey Dougie on BBC iPlayer? That's what they are. That's what, you know, that's what Ava is. She's a squirrel, okay? And she brought home a squirrel. Well, it's her first week, and then she was coming back next Friday. Now, they brought home a squirrel with a book for her first week. So this squirrel, called Red, now has to go on an adventure with Ava. Okay? Now, me being me, I've got a few ideas. As I do. Okay? And this squirrel, it's a cute little thing. I mean, let me show you a picture of it. Okay? I mean, oh, she's loving it. She's loving it. This is Red. This is Red the squirrel. He's about that big. It's about the size. It's about the size of a pint glass here. Yes, I've got my drink with me. All right. Okay. And she's meant to go on an adventure with Red this week, and take pictures and put it and stick it in a book. I did something. Squirrel in space. For some reason, I don't think they'll go for that. They might do, but they might not. Who knows? Okay, so yeah, if you can think of anything funnier than Squirrel in space, please let me know. But I just thought that worked really well, actually. So yeah, and I sent it to Grandma because it's funny, as you do. We have nothing going on in the week. Try some photo shopping with it. That's what I've done. What do you think that is, Sammy? Do you honestly think that I threw the squirrel into space? I'll put it in a video game. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. What game? What game? Okay. But I don't think we're going to I don't think we're going to print that and put it in the thingy. However, I'm quite tempted to do it anyway. But yeah, whilst you're filling out these forms for your little one to go to schools, it actually says on the paperwork, parents' hobbies and skills. What do you think I should put down on that? What do you think I did put down on that? Okay, when we get the picture of that going out, what do you think I put down on that? Hobbies and skills. There's quite a few there's quite a few skills I have. God, this playlist. Come on, no, stop smart shuffling. Stop shuffling. There you go. I put IT. Just put IT down, okay? But whilst I was there, right, okay, we were just talking about, talking to one of the leaders about the internet and how, because where we live, I am a gamer, yeah, I didn't tell them that though. Where we live, the 4G connection on certain networks is horrible. Absolutely horrible, to the point that it rarely works. And when it works, it's good. It's good when it works, but half the time it's just like, ugh. So we generally, so they are meant to have internet in their hall. And going to the website, they actually own the Scouts group actually owns the hall, owns the building. And they said to me, you know, we were talking about them, and I looked over and I saw they've got a access point, and their access point, I kid you not, is a TP-Link. What's it called? TP-Link Wi-Fi PLA. And let me show you what I mean by that. Okay, let me bring one up for you. I'm just showing it on the screen in a moment. Okay, so from what I can see, they've got like a power line. Let me show you what this. So obviously they have a router somewhere. Okay, and they said, yeah, it's in the office, but this is what they're currently using. Okay, it's something similar to that, and yes, it works. However, the building itself is 2 buildings slapped together. So one an old barn, the other a new part of a building, and you can actually, yeah, better than a Wi-Fi booster, yeah. Now, better than, you know, it's 2 buildings slapped together, so you know that these things work off power lines. Now, power lines, as we know, run through the house. They need to be on the same, essentially on the same power line, you know, ring main. Now, when you're adding a building to another building, it has, you are going to mess up some connections. That is just not right, and that's not going to work for them at all. So, have I offered my services? Am I going to help them with internet? I will do, but not quite yet, okay? Because my daughter's only been there for 1 week. I didn't want to overstep my bounds, blah, 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 blah. I didn't want to scare them away. How would I do it? Okay, so let me just draw a map of it. Okay, let me get my my very advanced, super high tech equipment out on my desktop here. Okay, all right, and it is like the best equipment that you can buy. Well, yeah, I mean, they say they've had other people help, but they haven't had me. Okay. So I don't know where the router is. I don't know what network they're on and what they do. However, I suspect they're with a company called TalkTalk. Okay, because why? I suspect that whilst I was in there, you know, collecting my daughter, I did a Wi-Fi scan. As you do, you know, you get your phone out. Okay, you get your phone out, you scroll down, you press and hold the internet button, gives you the Wi-Fi networks near you. Okay, perfect. All right. That's one way to do it. I do that all the time. Yeah, it's great. But I generally use a different system called Wi-Fi Man, which is done by Ubiquiti. Wi-Fi Man. Decent little bit of kit. Tells me all the networks around me on both 5, 6, 2.4 gigahertz. Which we'll go into in a minute. So, going back to where I'm talking about. Right, this is the kind of the shape of the building. Okay, it's an L-shaped building, right? Now, these parts here, I'm guessing are offices. I know there's a kitchen right here. Okay, so that's going to be a kitchen of some sort. That's like a secondary kind of lobby. That's a hall. You've got a nursery, classroom thing there. You've got toilets and other facilities on this side. You've got a staircase. You've got upstairs as well here. So there's quite a few things. While it looks so small, it's not. It's quite a large hall. Okay, my drawings are just terrible. I mean, I didn't take art in school. Okay, and the front doors are here. Okay, so that's how you get into the halls. You've also got a set of doors here, a set of fire doors here. Okay, so their current power line adapters here, right there, and I'm guessing they probably have more than one, right? So I was thinking about this. So they use some PLAs, all right? Oh God. So this is the old part of the building. That's the new part of the building. This is the original part of the building. Okay. So the original part's along the top left and that part there. Okay, which is fair enough. So wherever the router is, I'm going to take a wild guess. The router's going to be in one of these offices, probably upstairs, probably somewhere. Okay, so if we do the worst case scenario, the router is in this corner here, which I'm assuming is going to be an office. Okay, so, and as we know, Wi-Fi has both 2.5 gigahertz and 2.4. So I'm going to see why straight away why it's not going to reach the hall. With the power line adapter, you've got 5 gigahertz and 2.4. And as we know, 2.4 goes further. No, my saying is, right, with both 5 gigahertz and 2.4, it's a bit like walking and sprinting. 2.4 is a bit like walking, where you can walk for miles upon miles and not get tired and still work. 5 gigahertz is a bit like sprinting and not much of a sprinter, so you get tired quickly. So that's one way to describe 2.4 and 5. 2.4 is slower, but goes further because the wavelength is longer. Whilst 5 gigahertz, where that wavelength is a lot smaller, a lot thinner, a lot squigglier, goes a lot faster, but doesn't go as far, doesn't penetrate as much as well. So that's how Wi-Fi 2.45 gigahertz work. Overarm and underarm. Yeah, that's one way of doing it. So, and there's obviously speed down.
Does it smell? Is it slimy? Is it squishy? Is it brown or green or maybe that hint of yellow? Does it look like Play-Doh?
Mine looked like Play-Doh earlier, trust me, it did. Thanks for that, Tix. How you doing? You're right. We're talking about Wi-Fi. We're talking about my my daughter's little club and what? Yeah, going back to yeah. So going back to where I was saying. How you doing? Anyway, what I suggest, okay, it's get rid of these TP-Link adapters completely. All right. Oh God, that ugly mug. Rainbow the dog is using a mesh system. Now, looking at the size of this, mesh nodes, you'll only need 3. At a push, 4. Okay, they come in normally 3 packs. All right, the same again. You'll have 5, 2.4, 5, 2.4, 5, 2.4. It's not going to be exact, but it'll work. I have no audio, so I have no idea what's going on. I'm in public, so you'll have to. So all I have. So I'm in public, so I have you all off. Hang on. Word. Let's launch Word. Let's say hello to Tink. Okay. All right. Hang on a second. Hang on. Nobody say anything. There we go. Right. Okay. Ready? Right. Okay. Oh, hopefully that makes them feel better, you see. And obviously you get a little notification down there at the bottom there. Maybe it makes me itchy. Okay, so this is what I was thinking. Mesh Wi-Fi, that will cover it. That will work. That will work 100%, okay? But the thing is, I've got to really kind of do a Wi-Fi analysis. I've also got to check the speeds they're getting in, because if they are a TalkTalk customer, if they are, which I will find out when I go back to work, because I don't particularly want to log into TalkTalk portal now. I need to type the number in, the landline number. But if I find out, I'm like, there's a lot I can do. Yes, it's going to cost me money to help them, but it's given back to the community in some way, shape or form. And it won't be a really good system. It'll be like the M4, which is about £100. I'm happy to give £100 of equipment to this place and just, yeah. So, if things go well. But yeah, that's pretty much what's happening in my daughter's life and my life. But yeah, get rid of these TP-Link things and go for something else. Now, since we're on TP-Link at the moment, and when I mean TP, and toilet papers, we will come back to that in a moment, though. We will come back to TP-Link in a moment. So, a few things have happened. Let's go back to just Jen. A few things have happened where my other half has been in contact with my next door neighbours and vice versa. There's been some kind of odd behaviour happening around. Okay. Where someone has been stealing water. I know it sounds simple, but my next door neighbour complained that someone, she was alone at the time, that someone had been in front of their house, looked in their window and wandered off. We didn't know exactly what was going on. They texted my other half, and Katie was so scared she wanted me to go out and checking. Okay, now you don't want to find me in a dark night, because although I'm all friendly and stuff like that, I can't handle myself. So this is a CCTV of my property. You can tell I'm up for trouble, can't you? Yeah, I'm looking for something, okay? So I'm just, yeah. How big is the drive? Huge. It goes on. Yeah, I am kind of like, I was looking for someone, just in case. And it was just to kind of, reassure my other half, my little one, just, because if you get your next door neighbour texting you at, 11 o'clock at night saying there's someone hanging around and stuff like that, yeah, I'm going to go check it out. Okay, because at the end of the day, I don't want anything to happen to my house or anything like that. All right? So, but yeah. That's, I know what to do in the eyes of the law as well, because of my previous occupations. So I know how to handle myself. I know what the law will allow me to do and what the law won't allow me to do. So, yeah, things have changed where we've updated our security systems around here, where we have more cameras. A couple of more cameras, one in the garage, one above me. The one above me is quite interesting though, because it's a pan tilt zoom. It's a PCZ, and it will follow you around. And we've updated our doorbell as well, so it's all kind of all go at the moment. Okay, and it's rather interesting. And the best part is it's locally stored, all the footage. Finally, as well, works of Home Assistant. We'll get into that in a bit. Also, what I've done today, I've taken my washing machine apart and cleaned the filter in it, and oh my god, I've forgotten about the filter water. So as I'm putting the filter water in the little tub, here's a picture of it. Filter water into the tub as I was cleaning it. Okay, I forgot how bad it smells. It smells so much like rotten eggs. It made Michi smell nice. And as we all know, nobody likes Michi. Nobody likes Michi. Okay, so popped onto Discord earlier. I got a message from your friend and everyone's friend, Sammy. And this made me chuckle, actually. It was quite amusing. Where is it? It was on media. Now, Sammy, you're not stupid for asking this question, but I will put it up here. Okay. Now, bear in mind, if you want to join my Discord's just the things down below. Discord link. So Sammy asked, I am so stupid. I didn't know there were different general Wi-Fi generations. Yes, Sammy, there are. You're wrong, Alpha. I like Michi. Just wanted to know the difference, really. Okay. So, so Sammy, what actually landed? What actually made you look at this page? Just out of pure interest, okay? Did you type in Wi-Fi? What were you thinking at the time? Because it's, you know, the thought process to it is just as fun as the actual kind of conversation itself. Because I often find that a lot of my customers that I see have researched into Wi-Fi, but have only researched it to a tiny bit. Because the more they upgrade, the better, right? Yes and no. There's a difference between them all. Okay. There's also a system called WPA, or wireless protected access, as well. Okay. Now most of your devices are going to be WPA2, or wireless protected access 2. Okay, which is allows you to put the password, and the router confirms it and goes, yep, sure, you can come in through the door and have your internet connection. There's also a new one out called WPA3, which is and WPA3 is not backwards compatible. So what that allows, it's a different type of encryption. So WPA2, for example, will talk English. WPA1 will talk Spanish. And as we know, español. I know a tiny bit of Spanish. So I will work with WPA2 or WPA1. Now, if you think WPA3 is Japanese, for example, I have no fucking clue how to speak Japanese. Konnichiwa is probably the only thing I can say. Okay, if that's right at all. So, if I was a WPA2 device, I could still use WPA1 or WPA0, but I can't use WPA3, which is what's happened to me this week. I had a customer who had a Google Nest. 2 engineers have been in, 2 of my colleagues, couldn't get the Nest to work, and I was in for less than 10 minutes. Went to the router, typed in the WPA, changed it from 3 to 2, re-put the code in for the Google Nest. Bob's your uncle, is working connected straight away. Customer was over the moon and working fine. Now, Sammy, I've just noticed something on this picture that you're showing me here. Okay, now I like to look at the smaller details. Nobody likes me to go. You're using Wi-Fi 5. Will you have a look at the top here? You're using Wi-Fi 5. And you only had 55% battery. If everyone knows what battery percentage you got, put it in the chat. I've got 41%. Cheers for the Bramo lurk. Cheers for the Bramo lurk. Cheers for the lurk, Bramo. Just sit back, relax, and listen to my gorgeous voice. So, Wi-Fi. Now, you're probably thinking, looking at this list, okay, and we're going to use this list as an example here. Hang on, why did Wi-Fi 1, 2, and 3 not have like these symbols before? Actually, I'm going to be honest with you, these symbols have only just started coming in 2021, 6 and 7, and soon to be 8. Okay, excuse me, I'm going to sniffle for a second. So, the reason that they are making this kind of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and what onwards is to make it more, what's the saying? It allows people who don't know about Wi-Fi, it's more of an advertising kind of thing. Okay, so do you remember when fiber to the cabinet had just come out? You had broadband, before that you had dial-up, broadband, and then fiber to the cabinet, and they used to call it fiber internet. Okay, and you used to get speeds of up to 8, depending where you are from your green box. And I've spoken about this many times, where you get fiber from the exchange to your green box and then copper the rest of the way into your telephone line. That's what used to be advertised as fiber internet. And it still kind of is advertised as fiber internet, or fiber to the cabinet, or asynchronous digital subscriber line, or ADSL, as otherwise known as. Okay, now they used to call that fiber, right? However, Now that fiber, full fiber or fiber to the premises is now in place, I have fiber to the premises, hence my speeds. You will find that when you speak to anyone about their internet, and they're like, oh yeah, I've got fiber internet, and you ask them, okay, that's cool, do you have an ONT? We all know what an ONT is. It's one of these devices, sits on the wall. Okay. Thanks for the subscription, resubscription, Michi. I have no idea where this music has gone. I have no idea where it's gone. Okay, that's something I need to sort out. Michi, I will do a little dance for you. Let's see if I can do anything with that, okay? Oh, hang on. Here we go. Michi, just for you.
Do you want to banana?
Give it down and go. Do you want a banana? This banana for you. I know I've stolen Penny's thing, but to be honest, I think it's fucking amazing. Thank you very much. Keep it away from my mouth. No, don't hit my mouth. Go away. I don't like bananas. So, go back to Wi-Fi. I can't remember what I was talking about. Found it. Fucking love that song. Oh, I've got to do more gaming streams of those more often, definitely. Oh, we were having a giggle in Discord earlier. Oh my god. So I will get back to it. Let's go on a tangent for a second. So I'm sat in Discord watching Visky's stream. She wasn't streaming, she was streaming on Discord. We're having a little giggle, little chat. They were talking about dad jokes, not a lot. Now Skulls, one of our other friends who's been on this before with myself and Michi, where I've been in the voice chat. Skulls came in, was talking to us very serious about a very serious subject. I'm on webcam, Visky's on webcam. Visky just paused the dad joke after hearing it, and I'm trying not to crack up, trying to be completely serious for Skulls, because you know I like to support in Skulls, and Skulls is I would consider Skulls a friend. And I'm like, and then Visky's like, and then we're looking at each other, for the 10 minutes afterwards, we were just giggling away like two little schoolgirls, just laughing away. It was one of those moments, it was just so funny. We just couldn't stop laughing, okay? The whole time Skulls was there talking about how shit something is or how bad something is, and there's me and Visky, we're just giggling away. We tried to stop, we tried to be serious, and look at each other. Yeah. Anyway, that's Wi-Fi. So, back to Wi-Fi. Right, so yeah, so as I was saying, going from the cabinet, HDL, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so with Wi-Fi, it changes all the time, okay? That's one thing I cannot put through to a lot of customers. Your routers are generally smart routers. They will pick the right channel to jump down. Now, we'll get to channels, we'll get to stuff like that in a minute. Let's talk about generations. Generation of Wi-Fis. So, all Wi-Fi runs on the 802.11 channels. Okay, all right, and that's the standard. And the adoption time, as you can see on the right here, it's the adoption of the other one. Now, you're probably thinking 1997, that's quite early. Now, why 1997? Well, that's when broadband started coming out, okay? Because megabits, with dial-up, it was kilobits, 36 kilobytes a second, you know, and whatnot. You know, it's different. Now, when megabytes came out, we thought, do you know what? They would be always on because with dial-up connections, your computer would be access to it.
I asked my friend to buy me Oasis tickets. He
That's
said
the joke.
MAYYYBE.
So the joke that was said earlier was, I asked my friend to buy Oasis tickets. Do you know what he replied with? He replied with maybe. So yeah, that was the joke, and it was just made me giggle. Thank you for that. So yeah, you used to have a computer that you could you'd have to dial up and use that one. Okay, and if you actually go into Windows, you still have dial-up connections, so you could still set up a new connection these times. Okay, set up a broadband dial-up connection, you hit next. See, we're already connected to the internet, so we can set up a new connection anyway. But the thing is, I don't have a modem on this device, so it only tells me to do PPPoE on broadband, so I won't do that. But you still have the option to dial up in Windows 11. How cool is that? So they're still thinking about people who are still on dial-up connections, aren't they? Which is a bit weird. So, with that being said, it's time for the Travellers. I don't get that one. So, dial-up, 56, 36, 26, 24K kilobytes modem. Didn't, you wouldn't need Wi-Fi for that because it was direct link. Okay. Now, Wi-Fi 1 came out when broadband started coming out. Okay, now broadband, you're probably thinking, hang on, I'm on broadband at the moment. We call everything broadband. No, you don't. It's not the same. Standard broadband, or what we call copper to copper, okay, on your copper line was a maximum of between 12 and 26, maximum of 24. Actually, 24 megabytes, I think it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's something that we don't use these days. So that's with Wi-Fi generation 1. You wouldn't need...
Now let's look at...
you bugger. You wouldn't need those speeds, okay? And even then, you had devices that weren't compatible with it. Right? You're probably thinking, hang on. Think back in 1997, right? What tech we had in 1997. In fact, let's Google it, shall we? So we had old laptops in 1997. Hang on. 1997 technology, internet. So go back to the desktop. So it was primary access. Yeah. So we're seeing here, people were still using dial-up modem. I remember using dial-up modem, but we didn't have it in 1997. How old was I in 1997? 10, 11, 12, 13 years. Yeah, 13 years old. Michi wasn't even born. Some of you probably weren't even born either. So in 1997, we had old computers, and they talk about Windows 95, yeah. So, and we all know that big rig computers with CRT screens, those were it, okay? How many of these devices were wireless? Oh, it's time for the time travelers. Yeah, now we get it. How many devices were wireless back then? Because I can't remember anything being wireless back then, if I'm honest with you. So then Wi-Fi 1 then came out, which was, that was the original Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi 1 version 1 came out, or 802.11b, which is 11 megabits a second. You see over this right here, a little bit faster, but fast enough. This is when people started getting internet in their homes. 99, I was 15, 16, 17, and that's when B, G, and N were all grouped together in around 2009. So you could, in theory, get 600 megabits a second. Never happens that way. You never get 600 bits, okay? Because if you're looking at 802.11.ac, maximum data rate of 6.93 gigs. Ooh. That actually came with, a lot of things. And then AX is where we are, which is, well, AX is Wi-Fi 6 where I am at the moment. And at the moment, 14 gigs doesn't work that way. Does not work that way. Yes, you can get those speeds. However, you've also got to think about the input speeds. So, my current speed, if you've got an iPhone or anything like that, you're probably screwed. If you got an Android, okay, all right, it's a good way. Okay, if you've got an Android, especially the newer ones, all right, drag down, right, and on the internet button, press and hold. Bring up your home network, which will be at the very top there where it says connected. And if you scroll down, you'll see there's two, right at the very bottom there's two things called transmit link speed and receive link speed. Mine's running at 720. Let's look at receive link speed for the moment. Receive link speed of 864 megabits a second. Fair enough. You're thinking, I should get that. No. Go to speed test and hit a speed test, okay? Now, receive link speed will be your download. And as you can see now, I am nowhere near 800 there. Okay? Now, why is that, do you think? When Wi-Fi 6, which is what I'm on, 802.11.8x, should be compatible with maximum data rate of 14 gigs, why the fudge am I getting only 497 when I'm on 900? Many things happen. So you've got Wi-Fi interference, which is a major one, because everyone's running along the same channels. Because you've got 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. I don't currently have 6 gigahertz in this property because that's Wi-Fi 6E and 7. It's a different bandwidth altogether. Secondly, you've also got basically, it's not like spitting your hand out the window when you're feeling the air. It's a bit like you're downloading a file. It's a file and being processed and whatever onto the phone and onto devices. This is where I've shown you when it comes to your desktops. So if I bring up this one, go to performance. Where is it? Hang on, if I go to the top here. Resource manager, monitor. Oh, this would do. So watch this number. This is my CPU usage here. Okay, all right. So watch this CPU usage when I run a speed test. Okay, this is going to be fast.com is always a good one. Fast.com. Oh, hang on. Fast.com. And it spikes up. Okay, don't panic, don't worry. But the reason for that is you're downloading files, you're uploading files. Bear in mind, fast.com's not really accurate, if I'm honest with you. Your computer's doing other things at the same time. For example, right now, you can see my disks will go to a lot because you're downloading stuff at the same time as uploading stuff and whatnot. So a lot of it happens. Speedtest.net. Hit go on that one, and it's a little bit more accurate, isn't it? It's a little bit more accurate. But look at the CPU usage though. 82, 67, 65. So your computer and your devices, right, will constantly use resources to run those tests, which is fair enough. You know, these files are going to go somewhere. The temporary files that you're downloading, uploading, going to go somewhere. And it's not just one massive file. It is loads of little files, loads of little packets. And if those packets go missing, and I've shown you a packet loss thing before, where you go to command prompt, type in ping your favorite server system, which I tend to use is Google DNS. That's sending data, packets of data, and receiving it back again. And it will sometimes miss us 1 or 2 packets, but that's probably from them. There's also another one called Cloudflare. I think it is. I can't remember that other one. And Cloudflare speed test. Here we go. Yeah, Cloudflare speed test, which is also a good one. Okay. Yes, it's going to dox me a little bit, but I'm not too worried about that because you know. So this one is a bit more kind of, I use at work quite a fair bit, where it will just use those speeds, look at distance, look at latency, look at the packet loss, little things like that, okay? So as you can see here, I've lost a few packets, but I'm not too worried about that because I know my connection's good, because otherwise you wouldn't see my lovely face. So, like I said, it's decent. Let's put it that way. So, going back to Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi 4 is when WPA started coming out. WPA 1, or, you know, where you'd start having to put passwords in and things like that. Because I remember having a very old Belkin router. Let's have a look. I'm just gonna, oh, hang on, I think I found it. It's something, I'm just trying to find it. Give me a moment. I'm just trying to find one of my old routers, okay, which I'm talking about Belkin. Found it. Here it is. So this is the router I had when I was younger. It was a Belkin. I had no idea how to use it. All I knew is it had these lights in here, and that was it. And it's G. So we all know what G is. So if you're not quite sure, 802.11. Oops, sorry, hang on. 802.11 G, which is, if I remember, it's Wi-Fi 4. No, it's Wi-Fi 3. So yeah, 2003. Yeah, so that's about right. So that was what I started with, okay? Was this kind of router. And it worked. It worked really well, actually. I got an Xbox Live with it. You know, I had to have a Belkin, what you call it? Belkin access point? I think it was an access point. Is that it? That's not it. That's not it. I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to find it. Okay, and this thing connected to my Xbox, the original. Ah, here we go. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So this is what I had. You know, so you had this was the router, and this. Yeah, wireless ranging extender point. So when I was 15, 16 at the time, I was still playing with this. I was playing with access points back then. P off. Which, for me, was, you know, it worked. Wi-Fi back then didn't have passwords. So this is when WPA 2 or WPA 1 started kicking in. Remember that Wi-Fi 4, remember that you used to start having passwords put in? I wonder if they're going to mention WPA here. Transmitter encoding. There we go. So, yeah. Now, what a lot of your devices are these days, and I'm sure most of your devices, apart from a few, but most of the devices that you see out in people's homes these days are Wi-Fi 5 generation, which is 12 years old. So when anyone says to me, oh, especially if it's a TalkTalk customer or BT customer or anything like that, and they're like, oh, is this a good router? And I'm like, well, yeah, but it's old hack. And he goes, what do you mean? I mean, it's the technology in there, the Wi-Fi standard is 10, 12 years old, because it's Wi-Fi 5. It's 12 years old. And they're like, but this is the brand new router. I said, still doesn't matter. The standard of it is 12 years old. That's Wi-Fi 5 for you. It's 12 years old. And Wi-Fi 6 is 4 years old. And I'm running Wi-Fi 6 here. Okay, Wi-Fi 6E is also 4 years old. Wi-Fi 7 only came out last year in 2024. Now, you're probably thinking, hang on, Agent Jack, why don't you get Wi-Fi 7? Why don't you get these really cool, fast internet speeds? Why didn't you get Wi-Fi 6E at the time? Quite simple. Price. It's far cheaper to buy Wi-Fi 5 equipment as a standard across the board. This is why a lot of your internet service providers use Wi-Fi 5. Than it is to have Wi-Fi 6, 6E and 7. Now let me show you this, okay? So if we were to go back to eBay, let's stop there, and after I type in Wi-Fi 6 router, see that's gone down in price by now, okay? But if you have a look, most of these Wi-Fi 6 routers are going further and further down in price. Hey Titan, how you doing? Titan, I did pop into your stream last night. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning for me. I woke up, went for a pee, and I saw that you were streaming The Division. I wanted to join you, but I was just needed to get some sleep. So we're talking about Wi-Fi, okay? We were just talking about Wi-Fi in different generations. Now I'm talking about Wi-Fi 6 at the moment. We were just talking about Wi-Fi 5. Hey Silver Wolf, how are you doing? That's a long time no see. You good, buddy? I still see you online from here and there. We're talking about networks at the moment, buddy. Where was I going with this? Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Same old, same old. Can't complain. Welcome to my house. It's not as messy as you look. It just, that bit just looks messy. Okay, right. And that's my corner where I sit. Just there. You see? That's my ass. Just there. You see? Ava's corner's over this side here. You see? All right. Look, you got a good version of the fine. Better than my room, lol. What? This is my home. Welcome. Oh right, my mic. Yes, it is a for fine. Okay. I've even got. For your ASMR fans. Different anal beads. A bit too squishy for anal beads, to be honest. I mean, if you wanted to, but they'll go in one colour and come out brown. Oh, hang on. Ah, I thought it could fit on the Chief's head. No, it's not going to fit on the Chief's head, is it? Hang on, let me try it. Let me try. Yeah, I know you have a clown. I do actually have it. I do own a clown nose. Yeah, I do own a clown nose and a chicken. It's not from the Chief's head. So, going back to Wi-Fi for a second, before I lose my train of thought. Wi-Fi 6 is a lot cheaper these days than Wi-Fi 6E. So, think about the prices here. Average £50, £30 to £50 for decent kit. Okay. Ooh. Well, there is one here that I use for my Wi-Fi, for my VR setup. But yeah, it's a lot cheaper these days. Now, if we were to type in this next one, Wi-Fi 6. And as you can see, the prices have shot up to about over £100. Okay. Some of them, yeah, are lower, but I wouldn't trust them. But yeah, you are looking £100, £200 just for the extended version, which gives you access to both 2.4, 5 and 6 gigahertz. And you're probably, Sammy, saying to me, hang on.
Alpha. What do you mean by 6 gigahertz?
So we spoke about 2.4, we spoke about 5. 6 gigahertz is an unused channel, essentially. So it's 2.4 has been around for donkey's years, since 1997, when Wi-Fi started coming out. Every device has access to 2.4, and it is the most congested channel that you can find out there. your microwave ovens, your what do you call it? Baby monitors, your alarm systems, CCTV cameras. Mine uses 5 actually, and 2.4. Doorbells, wireless doorbells. Everyone knows about my new one. All you tend to use 2.4 gigahertz as the standard. So as you can imagine, right, that channel is completely rammed with devices. Completely rammed with devices. Okay, excuse me, I'm going to sniff my nose. So, 2.4 is completely rammed up. So they thought, do you know what, we'll release 5. We'll get 5 out there and everything will be fine. More and more devices using 5 these days. Your phone uses 5. My phone uses 5. Everyone's device uses 5. Computers are using 5s. So you can see that is now getting fuller and fuller and fuller. They've just released 6. Wi-Fi 6 gigahertz. Not 6th generation, 6 gigahertz. Because bear in mind, Wi-Fi 6th generation doesn't have doesn't have the 6 gigahertz band, whilst Wi-Fi 6E does. I know it's so confusing, and it threw me for a little bit when I was thinking about it, but no. Wi-Fi 6, 2.4 and 5 is dual band still. Wi-Fi 6E and 7 is tri-band. 3. Tri, dual. Okay, so this is the difference, and the difference is speed. Is also Wi-Fi 7 allows MLO, multi-link. I forgot what was the thing. It basically allows you to use all those 3 things to bring up those speeds. So yeah, it is getting better. Why the fudge have I not gone to Wi-Fi 6E? Price. Now, looking back at the desktop thing, looking back at eBay, Wi-Fi 6E looking over £100 for 1 access point. Now I use 3. Wi-Fi 7. That's not bad actually. If you wanted a cheap router that works on Wi-Fi 7 is pretty good. Let's have a look. Wi-Fi 7 mesh. Let's type in the mesh. A, there's not a lot of it, as you can see. B, because the reason there's not a lot of it is if we type in Wi-Fi 7 router into Google, right, you're looking at about £500. I mean, yeah, you can get ones like this one, but it's not going to be any good. Okay, I mean, they are still coming down in price. You've just got to think about it. The more stuff is coming out, the cheaper it will become, the worse it can also become. But this is just a single router. Now, you're probably thinking, hang on, what happened to the days where my Belkin router I could just use one Wi-Fi for everything? It has a minimum effort benefit switching from 6 to 6E even to 7. See, I don't tend to use, when it comes to Wi-Fi 6E and 7, okay, is if you have a look at your devices, a lot of your devices will not be able to use the 6 gigahertz band. New devices, my Pixel 9 here, for example, will use the 6 gigahertz band. My Pixel 6, which is over there, cannot use it because it doesn't have a Wi-Fi 6 receiver antenna on it. Okay, so therefore, this will work fine, not a problem. I can actually have a really good, really strong, really great time with this on Wi-Fi 7 using the 6 gigahertz band. Why though? When most of what I do on this is TikToks, videos, photography, loads of other things. Chatting to people. I do a lot on this, okay? This is my baby. Why would I need those speeds now? I won't, because none of them use them. Certain Wi-Fi adapters cannot use either the State of 5 bands. Yes, you're right. And they are Wi-Fi 6 band. It's also, you got to think about aggregation as well. What is using your, the actual link speed of it coming in as well? Like I'm on 900 here. Okay, I get 900 to that corner over there where the lights are. That's where my ONT is. Cable going on underneath behind the sofa into my network box in the back right left hand corner, and then And then I've got in that network box, I've got my mesh, I've got my main switch, which then comes up, and over here I've got a secondary switch here. I know it's not great having double switches, but to be perfectly honest, I can't be bothered to run 2 cables. Got a switch here, which then connects to that PC down in this box here, and this one, my main one that you're on at the moment. So this is the thing that I don't get with a lot of my customers is Wi-Fi is great. Wired is better, especially for gaming, especially for little things. But you get ISPs. Now, EE is a good one to talk about. Okay, so I'm typing EE ISP top speeds, okay? So, looking at this one, EE offers top speeds of 1.6 gigahertz. My favorite company, Bryant's Broadband. Okay, they offer speeds up to 5 gigabits. That's cheaper than what I'm running at the moment. 5 gigabits a second for £22. I mean, I'm looking at that like 5 gigs. That's quite tempting. But I'm also thinking to myself, I can see why people fall into this problem. Okay, I can see quite clearly what's going to happen now. So, just imagine if I went for that. 5 gigahertz, 5 gigabits per second. Slight problem with that. ONT probably could handle it. Yep, not a problem because it's their equipment. Part of full city fiber equipment. That's fine. I'll have to upgrade my network switches. I'll have to upgrade the cabling. No, not the cabling. The cabling's okay, so I can still use that same cabling. The network switch, the ports in them, my mesh. Basically, I'd have to rip it all out for just 5 gigabits a second. You're probably thinking, why don't you do it? It all comes down to cost again. So, I think I've shown you this before. So if we type in a 1 gigabit switch, 1 gigabit switch, there you go, £10. Works absolutely fine, no problems. 5 gigabit switch, £20 and upwards. Bear in mind my switch is managed, so I need a managed switch. Now you can see what's happening now. The more that I want, the further I'm adding to it. Okay, but these are only two. That's only 2.4. What's this one here? Gigabit switch. So you're looking at about 50. That's only 2.5 gigs. 2.5, 2.5. You can see where the problem stands. Okay, all right. So these are 2.5. Here we go. You're looking at speeds that you don't need. 2.5. 10 gigs SFP. Not a lot of people use SFP. In fact, not a lot of people know about it. SFP being fiber. So, yeah. I have on my PC a 2.5 gig access point port on Ethernet port. Most PCs, most devices, my work laptop is a great one. My work laptop only has 1 gigabyte point on there. I can't test anything above 990 on that, okay? So for a fact, it will just max out at that, and that will be it. I cannot do anything else. If someone has a 1.6, I cannot test for 1.6. Now, why would you use 1.6? Won't use 1.6. My gaming rig won't use 1.6. Your downloads won't be reaching 1.6 when you're using Steam, because Steam servers won't give you files at 1.6. The unpacking of your files on your computer because of your CPU will not run at 1.6 or 2.5 or 5 gigabits a second. Do you know what I'd say? 900 is a bit nuts. But at least you can utilize the whole 900 bit on your... Yeah, you get my point. Because The aggregation of files when you're downloading because of your CPU will not be able to do the gigabit, 5 gigabit speeds, okay? But the good thing is, where I'm seeing from here, okay? Now, my prediction in the future is quite simple, right? Now, the reason that these speeds are getting higher and faster and quicker and stuff like that, okay, is I'm just gonna have to Google something. SATA port speed. So SATA port, where it transfers all of your SSDs to your drive, you know, your motherboard or whatever. Okay, you got SATA 1, SATA 2, and SATA 3, right? SATA 3 is only 6 gigs per second, which is not too dissimilar to what I've just shown you regarding the 5 gigabits from my ISP. So, are you seeing what are you thinking what I'm thinking? Is there going to be a point that we'll sit down in front of our computers and it won't be a computer in that box down there? It won't be a CPU, won't have anything in there. It'll all be cloud. It'll all be cloud computing. Everything, because of those higher speeds, you'll be able to access all your stuff from your computer, from any screen, because of those speeds, but you won't need a computer in it. That's what my prediction is. We will not have PCs in our houses at one point. It'll be our class as old hack, old technology. Now, yes, people thought that wasn't going to happen with physical media, right? I mean, when the Xbox 360 was out, I hope it didn't come to the point where we don't have to buy physical. I didn't want to lose physical media. I wanted it to be forever and keep hold of my CDs. I've got load of my 360 games in Loft. But what do I do now? I use Steam, which has no physical media, unless you're buying hardware. But can you see where this is changing? Because we're going from one medium to another, to the point where the speeds that we are going to be ending up with, we're not going to need another medium, which is computers. Hell, even if you look at it, if you've got an Amazon Fire Stick, load it up, have a look at it. If you've got Netflix, click on Netflix. I'll show you. I'll show you mine. Okay, I'm happy to show you mine in the moment. As you can see, Netflix have started it already. Netflix games. Netflix gaming. Camp Spirit. Stuff like that. We have got gaming on the cloud. Hey, Visky. What do you think of my theory anyway? As you can see, you know, this isn't installed in my computer. This is not installed in Tool. This is, you know, on Netflix. You just woke up from your... How was your nap? So, what we're talking about is eventually we're getting to the point where computers probably won't exist in our homes. It's all going to be cloud computing. Now, I don't want it to come out that way. I'm very happy about building my own computers. Even Captain Dad jokes. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I'm happy to kind of stick around with my gaming kind of thing, you know, build my own PCs, having a proper kind of mic, having, you know, the Go XLR, having Stream Decks. You know, I love this kind of technology. I love where we are at the moment. But things are getting faster. The internet's getting quicker. The internet's getting faster and better. It's going to be a point where we don't have big computers anymore. It's all going to be done on the cloud. Instead of us buying computers, we'll be buying server space. 20 years from now, I reckon it's going to happen. 20 years from now, I'll be an old man at 60. 20 years from now, my daughter will be 25. God, I'm an old dad. But yeah, I can definitely see it going forwards, and this is where your speeds are going to get faster and faster and faster. KG just texted me saying his over tablet's pen by the community from. Yes, it is. Yeah, I put it there for safe. I put it there for safekeeping. So, as you can imagine, we're probably not going to end up with computers at one point. However, who knows what's going to happen with Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi 8 is coming. Now, when Wi-Fi 8 launches, this is when I'll probably upgrade to Wi-Fi 7 or 6E. But going back to those kind of speeds, gigabit speeds and things like that, I can't see any advantage in it. And this is what I say to a lot of my customers, really, is there is no advantage of you having these speeds apart from bragging rights. I mean, the first thing I did when I got my speed is come on to Discord with Visky and meet you, say, hey, look at this, speed test done. Oh yeah, yeah, I get 900 down, 900 up. Then oh wow, that's so cool, that's so amazing. The problem is, and I've ran several tests of when I'm downloading a game on that, downloading a game on here. They're watching TV down here. Ava's upstairs watching TV in her room. 300. We don't max that 900 out. It's 300. You'll have to say more. Now, why do I pay for 900? Because I get it for the same price as I got 500. Because I asked and I got what I was given. And this is why I recommend my provider, Brian Broadband. Oh dear. But yeah, like I said, 2.4 to 5 gigahertz. There's no major differences. So, I brushed on it a little bit earlier today. Home networks. Not home networks. CCTV updates and things like that. So, as you know, I'm a big fan of... oh, Visky's jumping on VR. You're going to listen to me as you do it. As you know, I use Home Assistant as my home control. Okay, and it's absolutely brilliant. Ignore the fact is that these are unavailable. The reason some of these are unavailable is because they are linked in, because you'll see this. This is really quite cool. Now, let's go back to just chatting for a moment. Alexa, game time. Give it a moment. We'll see the TV come on in a minute. Or probably not. It might do, but yeah, it's... There you go, the TV's coming on, hence these lights now coming on. It's coming all focused and stuff like that. So, yeah. This also works in movies. Now, it's just launched Amazon. Okay, so this is why you've seen some lights on this one, some lights over there. It's now flicking through the adverts. Alexa, stop game time. There you go. So this is all controlled by Alexa. Okay. Now, have you on screen as well? Have I on screen what? So, I've got the screen still running as well on there. But the thing is, everything's come back to normal. So when I'm playing a game, which I will do after this, I can then say, you know who, game time. It'll turn everything to game time. It will connect to a device on top of the TV called the TV backlight, and it will control all these lights around me. Really quite cool, really quite effective. A little bit scary when you're playing Dead Space in the middle of the night with no one around, and then you use a flamethrower. As you can see. So, as you can see down here, I've got some more bits and pieces. Yes, we still have that front door sensor, which works really quite well. Where open and close and stuff like that. So I can know that 2 hours ago, my other half left. Brilliant. Absolutely love it. So if I was to go to settings, I would go to device and integrations. I need to get rid of Blink. Blink is leaving. We're leaving Blink. I need to remove Blink. Doorbell and home, things like that, as opposed to this device here. Now, a lot of these are just suspended, I should say, have been stopped for the moment. And that's solely because, as you can see here, all disabled because they're the Christmas lights, okay? And I use them for Christmas lights because they work fine. But as you can see here, I've got bedroom lamp, living room lamp, which is that one over there, behind me, I should say. You can't see it because obviously you can see it with this camera here. Tapo, which is this device. Yep. Let me just disconnect it. So, let me go back to the other camera. This is the Pegasus Tapo. It's called Tapo. It's the H200, isn't it? Yeah, Tapo H200. All right, it's got a little memory card in there. It's got a obviously gigabit port in there. So about gigabit again. This has got everything I need it to. It records some cameras, two of my cameras at the moment. I need to get other SD camera cards on the other cameras. But yeah, this is what controls the doorbell, as well as the motion sensor at the back of the house as well. This also alerts me, and if I want to ring it, if someone wants to ring my doorbell, they can do. Let's see if I can actually ring it. Here you go. If I click on 21 entities, hang on, if I can click on 3 devices on it, front door, Pegasus Tapo. Here we go. So if I want to ring it, hang on, let's. You heard that, didn't you? So what actually happened was, when someone rings my doorbell, if we have a look here, right, this will go. So as you can see there, it's triggered by a siren, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, I can, I love that you're having fun with tech. Thank you. Looking at this, I can then integrate that turning on light, turning off into something else. For example, I can cause it to automate something else. So if I was to click on automations, when use this device as a trigger, signal level changes, I can then say and if time and location, or then do light, toggle, choose an area, choose device, choose entity. We're going to do living room. That didn't turn out right, I don't think. Light or living room. No, these are the glide lights. Hang on, choose device. Living room backlight. Choose area? No, it's not going to do area. Choose label. So I'm not quite sure. When it says choose entity, I'm not quite sure which light it's going to do. So I think it's going to go that color. I know what's going to happen. So I'm going to hit test. I hit that one. I'm going to hit save. Hit rename. Match remember from this one below. Ah, right, okay. No, it's not going to do it. Anyway, it's not going to do it. Oh, well, I could change it so when you ring the doorbell, it turn that light onto a different thing, which is pretty cool. But I can also change it as well in here. So if I wanted like doorbell 8 and hit that one. That's what Home Assistant does. It allows you to change stuff without actually having to go into the software and things like that. And the best part is there's a little green light on this. Okay, let me show you. Just a little green light on that. As you can see, it's not very bright. It's just there. Now, if I was to press on the desktop, I can pair a new device to it from this, and then it will work. Very like for swinging doorbell. The thing is, it's great. This is why I love Home Assistant. As you can see, front door and the kitchen sensor. The kitchen sensor also tells me about motion. and tells me if it's clear. I want to see something actually. I'm just gonna do something with it. Okay, let's have a look. See what happens. See if see if the logbook, the background here works. So I'm just gonna go to that motion sensor. I'm gonna press a button on it. Once I unwind myself, I'll show my.
Taking my breath away.
What's your answer?
So what I could do with that is late at night, if I wanted to, as you can see, to take the motion 3 seconds ago, is I could set that up to flash a light saying there's someone at the back door. Someone's come through, something has come through the back door. So, and that was just me waving at it. And that's what, that's, you know, and that's connected to the front door bell. The front door and the kitchen sensor. So when I say front door, that's obviously the door opening and closing. That's the door sensor. I do want to get more of those. But as you can see, I've got a lot more here than you think. So I've got an upstairs chime, which is pretty much the version of that, but it's a small one, plugs into the wall, has no special features to it, okay, at all. Got 8 entities though. So, ooh. That's unusual. I don't know about that. But yeah. A Pegasus Tapo, garage front TC40, which is the CCTV system. The rear, which is another CCTV one, but this one is a stationary camera instead of the pan tilt zoom. I've even got a pan tilt zoom in there. However, what made me chuckle was when I was looking at the pan tilt zoom for the one in the garage. Baby by detection. That's interesting. So what we'll do if we have another child, we'll probably get one of those. However, the camera system is absolutely brilliant. It follows and tracks things. It's interesting. Now, what I mean by follows and tracks things, I will show you in a few minutes how it does it. Okay. Now, the app itself is called Tapo. I can't really do much with it at the moment. Oh, hello. Oh, I just saw something on my. Nah, okay, could be wrong. So, with Tapo, with the device that we use, it uses pan tilt zoom. It will zoom into things. It will show. It will follow us. Yeah. So let me show you. Let's see. I keep forgetting it's backwards, isn't it? So let me download something from onto the thingy, then upload it to my download again. Save to album. So let's go to my Google Photos for a moment. Sorry about that. Let's see if it's uploaded to that. Oh, speaking about uploading stuff to my thingies. So I have a doorbell now, which I can then look at any point. And these two lovely chappers came along. Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, they sell. We get the neighbor's truck. Did that, yeah.
I was driving at the time. No, they're not internet people. No, they're not internet people. They are from Anglian Windows. Now, I don't deal with them. I don't want to deal with them because I don't deal with window people on my doorstep. To the point I was tempted to send this to Anglian and say, don't knock on my doorbell again, because I don't want them to be anywhere near my property, because if they're trying to if they're trying to sell me something, I don't want it at the end of the day. But that was just the doorbell. I actually picked him up from the road. That's how I picked him up. Speaking about picking him up from the road, you see, you're like this. So this is how my camera works. This is my usual point of the camera. Yes, it does change. Okay. Now it's picked up. I'm sat in this car with my mother-in-law. Okay, she's driving, it's her car. I'm holding on for dear life. And as you can see now, it's controlling itself. It pans and tilts, it zooms. It's got a lovely clean picture. They are brilliant. They are really good. Okay. And you'll see me struggle to get out of the car. Oh no, it doesn't. But look, it's without touching it, without doing anything. It follows, it's following something. It follows motion as well. Onto the drive. Clear picture. I can see the number plate of the vehicle. And the fact is that she can't park to save her life. So, yeah. This is after we picked up Ava from Squirrels. Which, like I said, she enjoyed. But yeah, that is saved locally to that thing there. I can also save it to the cloud if I wanted to. But the fact is, I want to get away from Blink, which is my other doorbell, which is funny enough sat on the side there, and I need to remove the Blink sync module because it's just crap. And Blink is owned by Amazon, which then they will charge you £5 a month to use their services, which we don't want. So, but yeah, like I said, Sammy, Wi-Fi 5, stick with it. Wi-Fi 6, when you get, higher speeds, allows you to use it. Not much point. Been talking for an hour and a half already. Let's jump into everyone's favourite website. Everyone's favourite website in this part of the day, this part of the evening. Good old Reddit. So, now, let's jump into home networking. Let's show you. Oh, okay. So there's a difference between RJ11 and RJ45. First of all, we know what RJ11 and RJ45. Right. Okay. Ethernet is connected and tested computer to display no internet. I've tested the cord and port on my Xbox with successful connection. Browsing returns as blank as server IP address cannot be found. IP config in all comments. Let's have a look. Right, so let's see. Windows IP configuration. That's hybrid. That's unusual. So using Realtek PCI Gigabit E controllers. You remember me talking about 2.4 and 5 gigahertz? No, not 2.4 gigahertz. Gigabytes per second. This person only uses gigabit. Default gateway is incorrect. It's Wi-Fi 6. DHCP server. Okay, so his default gateway is 10.149.DH. Okay, so we know exactly what's going right with this one. So it is his DHCP server and gateway 10.149.134.193 is what I want to know. So let's ask him. When you type in your default gateway IP address into your browser, what do you get on your browser screen? Because I reckon that IP address is incorrect. Okay, so they'll come back to us. Is Ethernet from a mesh extender better than just Wi-Fi? Yes. Okay, so let's have a look. Got an Asus router with an AI mesh range extender. Ugh. Oh no. AI mesh range extender. That could be anything. It's a range extender. which has an Ethernet output on my radio extender. Accidentally increase the connection to my PC. Never enter the house where fiber internet comes in. I'm getting 60 to 80 megabytes down just from the Wi-Fi. Wondering speeds would be better. That could be less if I use Ethernet. That way, I'm thinking is Wi-Fi is extended. Yes. Yes. Okay, so, ugh. Yes, it generally would be better. Due to the less coverage? No. Due to the device only receiving and not having to resend over Wi-Fi to your device. Instead, it would send it via Ethernet, which is far quicker than Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi. I'm not going to go into the deeps of it. I'll probably get told off for an hour. DNS probe. Error only on wired connected because you probably got it all set up wrong. Okay. Decent 2.4 Intel NIC PCI cards. Do you remember me talking about 2.5 gigahertz? Yeah, you don't need it. How can I turn it? No. TP link, CP, no. Double bandwidth, single ISP source. Okay, right, so let's have a look. Okay, I'm sure there's literature about this, but probably for years, I'm asking the experts, maybe someone has done it. I have 2 gigabits of fiber coming in. Why? I have 4 Ethernet ports on my router going out. My desktop has 2 Ethernet ports. What can I do? What? 2.1 gig? Oh no. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Why is my internet so different between this one and this one? It's because... Let's see if anyone's going to run. Your better or it has a Wi-Fi chip. Yeah. Let's get to EE. I know, I just get fed up with them sometimes as well. Oh, actually, think about this new roguelike that people have been... I've played it. I played the demo. It's not bad. Not bad. Not good. Fastest 5 gig upload I've ever seen. I don't care. I knew the answer, which I'm impressed with. Oh, well done. Help. I'm trying to activate the prepaid SIM. Don't care. Okay. I saw this. I saw this just yesterday. Can I get EE broadband at a flat with the Virgin Media connector? Can you? Oh, you bitch. There you go. Cute little bunny rabbit. Cute little bunny rabbit. Okay, so can I get broadband with this Virgin Media connector? The answer is in the question. Is in the question. Clue? Virgin Media. EE. That's so terrible. I do love your replies. I do, yeah. Sometimes they are so... sometimes they are just so wrong. That's not the end of that one. It makes me think here as well. I need help. Well, duh. Okay, how do I cancel? I want to cancel my iPhone and Apple Watch plan. How do I cancel? Confirmation latest payment. I'll make to EE. My end plans and how much notice I need to give. Email, text, and things like that. Make sure you get it wired. Make sure you get it done there. Can I change my number and keep my old one? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. So you need to make it as clear as possible when you cancel a contract with someone. Okay. I do what we call 3 stages. Ring them, email them, notify them. Okay. So you ring them up and say, look, I want to cancel with you, blah, 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 due to the fact I'm going somewhere else. I'm also going to send you an email to an email address to notify you that as well, and do the same on their page as well. Because most people will say contact us page. Okay. So you've done 3 stages. I wish my cancelled services to end on this day at this time. Therefore, I will be cancelling with you. The good thing is, right? Okay, in the eyes of in the UK, we are protected by a lot of rights when it comes to consumer rights. Okay. Now, one of the best rights is, you need to prove in a call to a normal person that you cancelled a contract. The best way to do it is by writing to someone. Now, people think, hang on, do I need to get a pen out? Do I need to get paper out? Do I need to send them a letter? No, an email will do. A cancellation email, which you can actually Google online, will do for you just fine. Okay. There's a website. It's a really good website. If you are having trouble with a certain company called Resolver, now it's great for us, Sammy, because good for you, because if you're a bit like me and you hate writing letters, this will do it for you. Okay, so say if we got a company called BT, yeah, right at the very top there. All right, start the case with a Resolver. We'll go with home billing. We say installation issue, installation activation delay. Start your case right now. Have you spoken to BT issue before? No. Or you hit yes. Okay, deadlock letter. What is it? And stuff like that. Next actions. It will tell you what you need to do. Okay, you hit yes on this next one. You can even log in and it'll save it. And it will then do all that. I do not have a response of, you're allowed to put it on there as well. And then, brilliant. Okay. So, and then you hit continue. It's absolutely brilliant. It will type everything up for you. Okay. And it will allow you just to kind of submit things, and it will ask you the right questions. Now, I generally say to a lot of my customers, use resolver.co.uk. Resolver will resolve a lot of these issues. So, but yeah, the cancelling one's absolutely brilliant. That's how I do it. Via email and stuff like that. It's what you want. Excuse me. Okay, so going back to Reddit for a moment. TV. Hello. EETV quality, picture quality on Windows. Interesting. EETV picture quality on Windows. I've just installed EETV player on Windows. I'm watching TNT. There's an EETV player? Let's have a look on the store. EETV. It's not this. It's not an official. Let's have a look. EETV. Reject. Interesting. Very interesting. Can I watch anything? Both the same company. Yeah, I'm just seeing if you can actually download EETV. No, I don't want to log in. EETV download. EETV app. Ooh. You can set up on... Right, so it's not on... Hang on a second. Check device compatibility. Fire Stick, Fire Tablet, Android, Apple TV, iOS, Samsung. No, it's not available as a download. So, TNT Sports absolutely it's awful. Looks like 480 at the moment. It's fine when you use a TV box. How far away are your PC from the router? It's about 3 meters. Connected via Ethernet cables. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's 7x RAM. Its resolution set something lower. Right. Okay. Right. So. Okay. So there is no actual EE TV player for Windows. I'm gonna have to double check that. There we go. EE TV player for Windows. Oh, there is. Oh, it's an app. It's a what do you call it? It doesn't. Ah, right. Okay. Sorry, going back to, we just had a notification back. Default gateway's address refuses to connect. So that's not your gateway. Yeah. So your IP settings are wrong. So your gateway settings are wrong. If you know your gateway IP address, change it in Windows settings. Change it in Windows settings to the gateway IP address. There you go. We're getting there with that one. How many junk emails I get is bloody frustrating. How you get rid of them? Aha! Right. A question I can deal with. There is a website called I can't remember what's it called. It removes. I can't remember what's it called off the top of my head. It allows you to get a lot of your devices to be things removed. Okay, so EETV player, web player app. EET. You'll be able to install clicking Windows buttons. Hang on. Yeah, it's not. See, the thing is, if I get into a conversation about EETV players, you can't download it. Hang on. EETV web player. Oh no, it's not new. It's been around for a while. I'm just trying to answer. I'm just trying to answer a question. Oh, I found it. Here we go. I don't particularly want to install it. Yes, you can install it. 3.4 megs. Is that it? I'm not going to answer it because I can't answer it because I don't have an answer for that one, unfortunately, when it comes to EETV player on Windows. So yeah, I'm gonna have to skip that one. EETV though, it's shocking. It's good at some points, really good at some points, but really terrible at others, to the point they had a Apple version and it was horrible. Did anyone notice that SH Smart Hub Plus no longer broadcasts EE Wi-Fi support anymore? They're getting rid of it now? No, they're not. Turns out EE, I mean, reflecting on my mobile data. Let's have a look at OpenReach. OpenReach cock up. OpenReach cock up. This is going to be good, I reckon. More than random of anything. I'm not expecting anyone who works for OpenReach on here or able to help. Supposedly, an external surveyor due out on the 14th never showed up. Had an email, it will be the 15th, and I didn't need to be in. Had an appointment today for an engineer to do in-home install. Made arrangements for someone to be here. Getting time off work for Easter is difficult. He's come and done the work but no service. Why? Well, apparently now I need an external surveyor to come out to see what equipment is needed. Run a cable over the roof. No idea why. That goes over the wall, so they didn't pick up on, I suspect. There's been a 10-day wait to the surveyor, blah, blah, blah. Virgin Media Services this weekend. So, ONT offline. Here we go. This one I've replied to. Right, okay, so this is a good one. I've actually replied to this one. I woke up this morning and network connection's offline. And looking at the ONT, both land and pond lights are off. Guessing something with ONT gone faulty. It seems very strange without any intervention from the overnight connection in either direction. Power cuts. Right, okay. So it's power light on. Try cycling it. Could be just power supply is dead. That often happens. Power light is on. Everything's off. Ooh, didn't see that. ONT was dead. OpenReach guy came, swapped it out. We're back up and running. Before I had time to make a cup of tea. That's unusual. Fake fiber internet. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, yeah, I saw this, and this is what. Yeah. Oh, here we go. This is one I've seen. Okay, this is an interesting one. So, an engineer fitted a master socket to a dresser with screws poking out on the U shelf space. Is that allowed? So it's an NTE5C Mark II. There's a telecare alarm system. There's a filter that looks from Sky. Customer is still using analog to connect a phone up with. Ooh, oh dear. That's not good. The fact is it's on here as well. That means I can't move that cupboard at all. Yeah. Engineer here reports damage OpenReach. I'm gathering it wasn't agreed. Terrible practice. It's true. Extra long screws as well. You're a competent engineer. I wouldn't have done that at all. I would have put it down towards the skirting board or somewhere, or even up high towards, you know, or on the wall next to the telecare system. Okay, it's got to be there. Okay, so I got something on that.
Well, it's not the kind of music that old Willie Shakespeare here used to write.
I got an up vote on that one. People are jumping in there. Yeah. So, yeah. So basically, the problem with this guy is his gateway's wrong. Now, what a gateway is, think of it as this way. So think as your home as an island, your internet router as its own island, while your device is an island. And say, hang on, let me start again. In fact, it's probably easier just to show you. Okay, now I've probably spoken to this before. Right, so let's bring up my extra super secret equipment again. All right, so let's do this. If we do this, okay, and then we'll click here. So the blue is the internet. All right.
Okay.
The green are your devices. All right. That's your devices. That's your home. Okay. Now, you want your devices to go to jump across there to the outside world, don't you? Right? But you can't get across the lava that's in between you and the internet. You want to get across that, don't you? So you need a bridge of some sort. Now, bridges is what, you know, is what a router is. It's basically a bridge that allows you to cross the network from here to over there. And this is what your router does. It makes a bridge for you to run your network, your connections from here over to the internet and back again. That's all your router does. It's a network bridge. It bridges you to the outside world. Okay. Now without your router, you can't go anywhere without losing all that data. But the thing is, you've got to tell your devices where your router is. Okay. Now what that guy has done, he's got his bridge. His devices don't know where that bridge is, so they need what you call a network map or a gateway address, because your bridge is your gateway for your devices to go, oh wait, hang on, we know where we're going. We're going across that bridge to get to the internet. And that's pretty much what your router does. Now you need to tell your devices, you need a little man there, okay, called DHCP. His name is DHCP, or Dave, I like to call him. Dave, who hops along critically, profoundly, or dynamic host protocol. Dave will tell you, all your devices, it's that way. And that's it. Dave will tell you, right, you're number 1, number 6, number 7, okay? And you got another guy, his best friend, called DNS, or Dynamic Name Server. So they both work together, and they'll both say, yep, you need to go across this way and that far for the traffic to go along there. That's how they work. That's how a router works. And it is that simple. That's essentially the basics of internet. So with that guy who was telling me that his internet isn't working, he's telling us that he doesn't know much about it either. To be perfectly honest, even I've posted on there asking questions as well, because the greater good, the greater people want to help each other out, and that's what we do. As an engineer, I'll try and help out my colleagues because, you know, I'm a nice guy. All right, so I just have a looking down the post here, looking at postings. This is the ooh, hello. Is this router getting oh, I've answered this one. Have I answered this one? No, I have looked at it though. Okay, so is this router, which we all know is Virgin Media? Hang on, is that a SIM card there? Oh no, that's just the network card, isn't it? Is this router getting fiber broadband or 5G internet service, please? Lies. It's all copper. It's all copper. Okay, copper cabling. It's coaxial copper cabling. So yeah, it's XGS PON. And I'm looking at Virgin Media. I'm thinking maybe I could work for them, but is the grass greener than the other side? I don't know, if I'm honest with you. I have looked at a lot of these actually in the last couple of days, and they've been rather interesting. New fiber installation, talk or city fiber router query. Okay, we've spoken about these things as well. TP link, tech support, Gore, OpenReach, Home Network, Home Assistant. Have you tried Rice? Choosing beggars, Cable Gore. Let's see if there's anything new on Cable Gore. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Serial cable found in the office. That's yeah. And then father's house recently? Nope. That had to be done. Oh dear. Right. Yeah. I generally Wi-Fi. We'll have a look at Wi-Fi in a moment. Hang on a second. So BT whole home replacement. Hello. This is 3 minutes ago. Hi. I have an original BT home whole home system in my house, 5 discs. Generally has been robust until last night. It keeps dropping. Post a series of resets and to find now. I noticed the app Hasn't got any software updates since 2021. Assumed it's now unsupported. True, it is. Okay. So my question. Give me a moment. Hang on a second. So my question is whether it's worth upgrading respeed, robustness, and security. Houses 4,000 square foot, still on brick walls, and so need extra discs. His speed doesn't seem decent. Don't want to fall over. If so, I have a unified PoE switch. I'm tempted to go with the route, but don't want a ceiling mounted visuals. Decorated the whole house. Really wide Cat 6. Hide stuff. At TP Link, have a look at TP Link mesh. Generally, dependent on price, I normally advise the X20s / X10s as the Wi-Fi 7 ones are the X50s. As the X50s are still going through a lot of firmware updates and issues. But yeah, that's what I recommend to a lot of my customers is using them. Okay, I'll use the X20s in my property. I've had no issues with them. Touch wood. This is where I say everything's going to fall over and fall apart. So yeah, FTTP installation. Where was I? Wi-Fi, wasn't I? Very strange issue. Posting here because I can't find anyone similar problem than that's mine. That's probably because really specifics, I'm not sure how to describe it. So it's happening in the last month. So also, my Wi-Fi connection comes much lower at random times. Always happens in Wi-Fi with 3 stripes, meaning 4. When signal changes, my pixel only goes 400. The actual megapixel doesn't change, just latency. The persistence is 1 to 3 hours after resets. Troubleshooting change. Okay, do a wireless survey. There you go. Overlapping, yeah. So it's going to be Wi-Fi interference on that one. Okay, Wi-Fi interference generally does get worse while more and more people are using that Wi-Fi connection. Now, this is what I'm going about the signals, the actual the actual 2.45 gigahertz. Like I said, 2.4 is completely clouded. 5 gigahertz, not so much, but it is getting to that point. So, yeah, you can see what's going on there. Anyway, going back to that time again, it is a thank you and it is a good night from me to you lot. I wish you a lovely week. I'll see you again on Friday. Okay, hopefully I'll be alright on Friday. Look after yourselves. Thank you for joining me for this conversation. Thank you for joining me this evening. I am so glad I can talk to you guys and have some comeback and feedback from each other as yourselves. So, adios and take care. Bye all. Love you long time. No, I love you long time.